Get cool stuff for what you were going to do anyway. Drink beer. With Buy Beer, Get Gear from Labatt, you can just snap a photo of your receipt and upload it to the website to rack up points for exclusive merch. Get points for every purchase, whether you're grabbing a pint on draft, a case for a party, or a tall boy at the stadium. Any size, any product, anywhere you buy Labatt. Buy beer, get gear. Sign up now at rewards.labattusa.com.
Stand back for your own safety.
Steve, what's up?
Congrats on the win.
Thanks, Steve. Where Paulie at?
Here we go.
I'm checking out. I will respond to you, but I'm done for the week. I'm done.
Steve is my favorite part of the show. How's that?
I like that. Thank you. Thank you for saying that.
Check for sound.
Pleasure to be on there talking with Paulie, man. He's a good dude.
I'm an idiot. I'll just shut up and let you talk. I was trying to help.
And shout out to Tupac.
3, 2, 1, and
This is Orange Nation.
Well, hello, Paulie and Steve.
With Steve Angeli and Paulie Sibilia.
Good afternoon, everyone. Glad to have you with us alongside Paulie Sibilia. I'm Steve Angeli as we welcome you into a Thursday edition of Orange Nation. We've got just one guest lined up for you at this point. Ric Beardsley, the four-time All-American, will be on with us at 1 o'clock.
He's not a guest. He's a friend.
He is a friend. Friend of the program, friend of ours. He will be on with us at 1 o'clock to preview Syracuse, North Carolina. Saturday around 2:30. The start time says 2:30. That's going to start closer to 3 o'clock. It's the second game there at Hofstra. So we'll break it all down with Rick. Plus, we'll mix in your phone calls throughout at 315-437-7644. What's up, Paulie?
Not much, Steve. How'd you sleep last night?
Not enough. How about you?
Okay. Padres won on a walk-off last night. Or not on a walk-off, but in their last at bat because they're on the road. And I got all pumped up, and I was up all night. Excited.
Big win in the month of May.
Yeah, holy sheets.
There you go.
He had another home run in the ninth.
Good. They have won a lot of close games.
Yeah, if their offense ever got going, they'd be a really good team.
Yeah, and their bullpen's legit, right? So, I'm rooting for you. I hope this is the year.
Please stop. I don't need your rooting.
I hope this is the year for you.
And tooting. So, want to talk a little football today, Steve?
We can do that.
Fran Brown was on something.
Did an interview with On 3.
On 3.
And he provided an update and provided some clarity on the quarterback situation. And everybody wants to know what is the deal with Steve Angeli. Will he be ready to go in time for the season? We've been getting encouraging reports both from Fran Brown and Steve Angeli to this point. Certainly through spring practice we did. We haven't heard about how he's doing in some time. So we'll hear from Fran Brown now on Steve Angeli and what's going on.
Yeah, so he hit 19 miles per hour Thursday running, getting all that stuff. So he's damn near 100%, and he's been doing a good job. We've been having him do stuff at practice, but it's just on air. Everything's on air. It's nothing like towards the other stuff. And then he'll stand in back of the guys, and I'll ask him, where's the ball going? Boom, what they in? And he's able to just say it fast and able to point it out. He's really done a good job. Right? He knows the offense really well. Right? Like he'll know what Jeff's gonna call before he calls it sometimes.
Yeah.
So all that sounds good.
Yeah,
right?
I don't know what it meant, but it sounded good. Like
it means he's running again. He said he's close to 100%, and it means that he's in lockstep with Jeff Nixon.
It's funny to hear a human put in miles per hour and not like their 40 speed.
Right. I mean, that again, all of that sounds good. We'll see what it looks like.
It was kind of a non-answer. He's running, but he's still not doing anything. He's on air.
Yeah,
it felt like a non-answer to me.
Okay.
Did it sound like he was going to start game one because of that? I
mean, the only part of that I would come back with is that he said he's darn near 100%. So if that is indeed the case, then yes. I mean, it's May, so
you can't roll him out there unless he's at 100%.
Well, correct, but it's May, so if that's accurate, obviously we don't know. It could be coach speak. My guess
sounded like coach speak to me.
Okay, well. We can only go on what the coach is saying or Steve Angeli himself is saying. Steve said during spring practice that he would be ready to go in time for camp, and the head coach is saying that he's darn near 100%. So
I hope he is.
If that's true, then that's a good sign.
I hope he is. I didn't. I don't know. It sounded very coach speaky. What else we got here from Mr. Brown?
Well, a lot of people want to know who the backup's going to be, and I think most fans have their eyes on Amari Odom. But based on the way Fran Brown has been talking, and in this interview specifically with On 3, it sounds like Malachi Nelson is the guy who's going to start the year at number 2.
I think Amari Odom's done a really good job. He's done good. Danny's good. We got some guys, right? I'm not going to get caught like last year again without it, but we got some guys, but they've all competed. But I do feel that some of those guys, I was like, wow, okay, Malachi.
All right, so the one that I was hoping you would play there is the Malachi Nelson is really, really good. That's the one.
I put other quarterbacks.
Yes, you played the other one, but yes.
So he's really, really good. People put different things on it. That kid is really good. You believe in him, and he understands and knows that you believe in him. He's tough. He fights. He's super athletic. Like, I had no idea. Like, okay, let's get in because you watch the old stuff, but like now I'm coming to.
Feel like there was more there, but maybe not.
Man, I'm super impressed, right? I can't wait to watch him and Steve now compete, right? To see, because now Steve is going to be in the mix with all these guys.
Okay, so there you go. On Malachi Nelson, and again, he went on in the interview to talk about how that Malachi Nelson is gonna push Steve Angeli. It sounds, based on the way he's talking, that Malachi Nelson, at least at the moment, is considered the backup quarterback. They feel like they've got some depth in that room.
Last year was a nightmare.
Yeah, it was. Malachi Nelson, just to remind everyone, he's the former USC recruit who went to Boise State and ended up at UTEP. You would expect that he's got 2 years of eligibility left if this 5 for 5 comes into play here, because technically he's been in college for 3 years, but he's only appeared in 10 games. Played for, he appeared in 1 game for USC, appeared in 3 games for Boise State, and then played half the games for UTEP last year. So at least 2 years of eligibility left, you would think.
Yeah, but we also, we went into last year thinking that Ricky Collins was good too, because he did get recruited by LSU. But we had never seen him, so it's let's hope the scouts were right on this year.
Let's get one more from Fran Brown about last year. You mentioned it was a disaster because Steve Angeli went down. Here's Fran Brown referring to that topic.
It just exposed a lot of things that should have been taken care of a little bit more, right? You've seen what they were. So that's on me being able to adapt, right? And I feel like I didn't adapt last year, so we could just say Steve went down, and that's what everyone will try and do. There was other things, right? There were other things that needed to be fixed and needed to get right. And by us losing Steve, I became a better.
Well, and that's the.
Yeah, so I mean, he's looking at it as it wasn't Steve alone. Obviously, it wasn't Steve alone. I mean, look at what happened on the defensive side of the ball as well. But I think that was certainly at the top of the list, Paulie. And they have addressed the quarterback position, and they have worked to get better in the other areas as well. And there are a lot of unknowns, and I mean, there just are going into this year.
Yeah,
I mean, I think
it feels like that's all we know right now. Is if Steve Angeli's healthy, they got a guy who can get whoever's catching the ball, right?
Yeah.
We don't know how good the offensive line is. We don't know how good the defensive line is,
And there were some known commodities his first year, right? I mean, people knew who Kyle McCord was, and then...
Kyle McCord had a running back and a guy he knew he could get the ball to at all times.
Right. There was some NFL talent that he was working with on offense. A lot of question marks going into this year, but again, I think it's one of those things that Fran showed the first year he was able to get to 10 wins. They took a step back last year for a lot of reasons. And he's got to fix it in the offseason. This is an enormous year for him, for the program, just really for the trajectory of Syracuse football, if they truly are on their way back. Because we saw this with Dino, right? They popped one year, and then they couldn't take advantage of it. So they popped in his first year. Can Fran Brown take advantage of it, get back to a bowl game, and this year and beyond, and start to build some momentum?
I tend to think they will. I don't know if they'll get to a bowl game this year, but I think they will get going in the right direction again. That 5.5 wins seems about right. It just, you got to win against really good teams at home, and then all of your basically toss-up games are on the road.
Yeah.
And it's difficult.
Right.
And, it doesn't mean they're not good. It's just, it's a lot to ask. And in your, 3 after coming off just a year that was not good.
Yeah, of course you want your tougher games at home, but as you pointed out there, or were alluding to there, it's kind of a double-edged sword because you've got all your tough games at home, and then that means that your your toss-up games are on the road, which makes those more difficult.
Right.
So in order to truly take advantage of that schedule, you got to beat somebody at home. And the home schedule next year in conference is very difficult.
Yeah, BC has been a problem for the Fran Brown era, and so is Pittsburgh. But Pittsburgh's been a problem for everybody. And those are two teams you got to at least be on the same level with. Like that, BC you should beat every year. Pitt, you should have a 500 record against Pitt, you would hope, and that's just not the case.
Yeah. CBS Sports released its quarterback ranking, since we're talking about Steve Angeli here. They went 1 through 17 with the projected starter at each school. Steve Angeli checks in at number 7, which feels about right. Darian Mensah at the top of the list at Miami. C.J. Bailey from NC State, number 2. Kevin Jennings at SMU, number 3. JKS at Cal is 4, and then Mason Heinschel at Pitt is 5. The interesting thing about that list is that Syracuse will play 4 of the top 5 quarterbacks. They don't play Miami, but they've got NC State, SMU, Cal, and Pittsburgh all on the schedule. And then, as I mentioned, Steve Angeli checks in at number 7.
Yeah. And that's good. It's just that's all we know, right? Where do the receivers rank in the ACC?
Yeah,
where are the running backs? And
and that's the thing about the receiver position too, and especially with Calvin Russell going down. I think a lot of people thought he was going to come in, me included, and make an impact right away. He's not going to be there maybe for the whole season. Fran has said they're targeting late October, early November. That seems like an aggressive timeline to me, but he's not going to be there for a majority of the season. And you look at the wide receiver room, it seems like they've got a lot of options, like it's a deep room, and it seems like there's talent there, but who's going to emerge? Because there's a lot of unknown commodities in that wide receiver room. So, hopefully having Steve Angeli at quarterback is going to help with that. But you've got to have guys step up, obviously, and become those known commodities. So it'll be interesting to see how that does develop. And to your point, Paulie, you've got Steve Angeli that we all know about, and then there are a lot of question marks across the board. And hopefully Fran Brown's figuring that stuff out as we speak.
I have faith in Fran.
Yeah. Well, that's what I said when we went through game by game. We said the over-under was 5.5 in Vegas. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt that he figures out a way to get to 6 and get to a bowl game.
He also has been very honest about, I screwed up last year with the quarterback situation, and it seems like he went and got people to help him coach that are more experienced than he had in the past, too. Yeah. He made a ton of changes to his staff, which isn't easy to do, firing people, but he went out and said, we got to be better here, here, and here, and hopefully that translates.
Yeah, and there's some urgency going into this year. I don't think there's any doubt about that. I think there's urgency from the top down to get this thing right, and I'm going to, I think it's important that they build momentum. Like, I know fans are kind of tired of 6-6 and what that means, and here we go, another pinstripe bowl appearance or whatever the case may be. But they got to get back to the postseason, and have 2 bowl games in 3 years under Fran Brown, and then kind of build the momentum from there. Because otherwise, you're in danger of doing what happened with Dino, which was they had that big season, and then they went backwards, and he never was able to capitalize on that big year that they had. That is our opening drive. It's brought to you by Burdick BMW of Cicero and Burdick Toyota. Phone lines open all of hour number 1 at 315-437-7644. We are back after this on ESPN Radio.
Catch Sunday Night Baseball every Sunday night at 6:30 on ESPN Radio Syracuse.
Did I hit the button fast enough, or should I have not gotten the drink first? I was parched. Thank you. Tell me how good I was at hitting the button. I'll shake my ice wherever the hell I want. More commercials? Okay.
And $9.25 acquisition fee and 0 security deposit. Not all customers qualify for security deposit.
There you go. Steve, do you believe in magic? You look like a magician. You could be a magician.
I've got a good card trick. I think I've shown it to you, haven't I?
If we put you in a top hat, in a tuxedo, you could pass as a magician. Dress up like that for Halloween. There, I helped you out. Steve, do you wear deodorant or antiperspirant? Which brand cologne? I wear Degree deodorant. And I have Curve cologne. Steve, your turn. Okay, Steve does not want to answer that question. I feel like we've hit a nerve. But Steve does not want to tell us.
I'm reading.
Doesn't want to tell us what kind of deodorant he wears.
Call now. Make the summer great in a new Jeep from McGuire Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Syracuse. Stop in now.
Steve doesn't wear deodorant. It's brutal working with him. Thank you. Smells like a gym.
Florida guy wants to know my joke.
So why are you hiding your deodorant from me?
I'm not. There's two people that I don't respond to in here.
I'm asking you.
No, you're not though. Somebody else is. So they can wonder.
But then you just open yourself up to.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care. So Florida guy wants to know my joke. So I've told you the joke before. A bear walks into a bar.
Oh, that's
and he says, "I'll have." The bartender says, "What do you want?" And he says, "I'll have a rum and Coke." And the bartender says, "Why the pause?" And he says, "I was born with them." That's the joke.
Still not funny.
I think it is. I like it. It's good. It's a good joke. Good joke for kids. Kids love it.
Kids shouldn't be talking about rum and Coke, Steve. You sound like a bad influence. Speaking of which, my kicker story is about a bad influence. I'll have a Shirley
Temple.
Yeah. There, that's more G-rated. Kids shouldn't be ordering rum and Cokes. I would pay not to go see Steve to sit up there and tell dad jokes. Magic, though. Am I wrong?
Have I done my card trick for you?
I don't know, and I don't care.
You don't care.
It appears to be Spatch and Louise and you, L.A. Orange. So now we all just think Steve stinks all the time because...
That's fine. You can think what you want.
Do you wear the Car Noir? Is that true? Ryan Mullen wants to know that. You can answer.
I don't. No. I don't, Ryan Mullen.
You'll never know what his magic trick is, Spatch and Louise. He hates you. I don't hate anybody. I just ignore them. Good answer?
Yeah.
I'll answer for Steve when you ask a question. I've worked with him long enough. Steve doesn't sweat. I've never seen him sweat. You should tell one of your jokes during your newscast. Just randomly. You should work in whoever our artist of the day is in the sportscast. That would be fun. I was up in my room thinking about. I was heartbroken by what happened with the Bills today. You just brandy song it all day. No hitter over. Oops.
Didn't take long.
No.
It's 2 days in a row right off the bat.
I did a remix of Guy and Brandy mixed together. Brandy's our artist of the day. I was trying to explain to Steve that Brandy had a bunch of songs that went number one on the R&B charts, but I didn't know them. I only knew her songs that were on the Billboard charts. And it started an argument, so I'm not going to
We're not going to see eye to eye on this. So she was on TV, like she was on a sitcom before she became famous from a musical perspective. So, of course.
But I'm playing all of the Brandy songs that us normal people will know.
Right,
not
because
big Brandy
when
fans.
she had a breakthrough song, it went on the Billboard chart because people knew who she was, unlike Luke Combs. When his first song came out, people on the Billboard chart had no idea who he was.
Okay, let's get to Scooter on Boise State. So
Scooter.
If you've got your Scooter bingo cards out, we're just going to check it off right away. Boise State.
Scooter, what's going on?
First of all, I heard you guys over the last couple of weeks fighting over popular songs that Paulie won't play for you, Steve. But the best was when he had Bob Seger a couple of years ago. He played the most obscure Bob Seger songs I didn't recognize any of them. It was the funniest thing. I don't know where he got those from.
The Billboard Hot 100 is where I got him from, Scooter.
That's right, okay. But let's put it this way, Paulie. You're paying $200 for a ticket. You're not paying to hear the songs you pick. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
But
you guys are also smart.
Okay, well, I'm just saying that was funny. There's this thing is we'll see. Nelson could improve, but he couldn't get off the bench at Boise. He came in. There was no starting quarterback. Starting quarterback transferred out. It was all his. Everybody's pumped. 5-star quarterback, number one, coming out of high school, goes to USC, chooses Boise. And he couldn't beat out a guy that probably is Troy Moon's caliber. And that was the year that they went to the playoffs with Gentry. And he couldn't get even up to. I'm not even sure he was second string at the end of the season. I was shocked. I thought he played more than 3 games. But when he came in and mop up, he had some problems. So I'm hoping he improved. Maybe he did. Maybe, Syracuse got better coaching. They had Dirk Cutler back then, who used to coach Atlanta and was the original Boise State coach when they started this whole thing 27 years ago, being pretty good. But I'm just, hopefully, nobody improved. I'm telling you, he was a big disappointment at Boise.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, that's kind of what Ricky Collins was last year, right? He was highly touted coming out of high school. LSU wanted him. He must be good because he came from LSU. Now, the difference with Malachi Nelson is that he did play a little bit, as Scooter just alluded to. He's played 10 games in his college career. He is a little bit older, in his 4th year of college now. So, hopefully this is his time to settle into that backup role. They don't need him to be the starter, assuming Steve Angeli's healthy, but hopefully he can settle into that.
Hopefully he doesn't get off the bench at Syracuse. Right.
But if he does, Paulie.
No, I want Steve Angeli, who is the quarterback now, to be the best quarterback to ever play at Syracuse.
But if he gets hurt again.
Yes, then I want the next guy in.
Right.
I don't know why that is such a bizarre take.
No, it's not.
I don't like you today.
I wasn't taking a shot at you. I was allowing you to give that take again.
All right. I don't know if I want to get into this right now or not, but I'm going to.
Okay.
All right, everybody. I feel like we need to cover what happened yesterday after our show got off the air.
Yeah.
So Steve and I did what is called an immaculate grid. We did not make this. Fan bases all over the country are using the exact same grid we did for their immaculate grid. Good player hated by fans, loved by fans, mixed by fans. Average player, bad player. We didn't create bad player. We did this is a meme that's going around that everybody does. We didn't come up with bad players.
Because I even said yesterday in the show.
Yeah, and I told you not to be soft.
I said let's change it to role player, and you said no, that's not what the meme is.
Yeah, it's not up to us to change it. Okay. We didn't create it to change it.
So we did the exercise.
And it was earth-shattering to me. How divided people are and how people were angry at us for sharing the meme that every fan base in the country is doing right now.
Yeah.
Do I think they're bad players? No. Do I hate them? No. Steve and I take calls and we went by our experience in what we know and shared that with you guys, and it was what we thought. And we said roast us or correct us, but just the amount of butthurt about it, and Nathan George, Steve, if you had to put blinders on and you were going to say he was a good player, bad player, average player, just take last year out of it as a Syracuse person and tell me if he's a good player, bad player, or average player.
I think he'd probably fall in the category of good play. I mean, average to good. Yeah, average to good.
I would say he was average. Yeah, I didn't think that was a hot take.
I mean, coming here, he had led the ACC in assists. So I think
that would have been good. You thought you were getting good, but you got average.
You just said take Syracuse out of it.
Yeah, I know. But you thought you were getting good, but you got average.
Correct.
So he's an average player, right?
I agree with that, yes, which is where I put him yesterday. I put him as an average player. But if you're taking Syracuse out of it.
People were saying he's the worst player to ever play at Syracuse.
Yeah.
People got mad at us for saying Marek Dolezaj was an average player. One guy said he was an elite glue guy, So that made him an elite player. You don't usually think of elite players as glue guys, right?
Correct.
Like Josh Pace was a glue guy. He was a good player, average player. He wasn't elite.
Marek played here for 4 years. He averaged 7 points per game. Now, listen, I love Marek.
Everybody loved Marek.
I love Marek.
Same with Mike Hopkins.
He was not an elite player, okay? He was not.
No, he's an elite. He's a fan favorite.
Yes.
He busted his butt. He got run over. He lost his teeth playing.
Right.
It was crazy to me. And yeah, it's every fan base is doing this meme. It wasn't just us. We didn't just set out to say we hate these players.
You look at the bad player column, like Louis McCroskey, for instance. We got some pushback on that. Listen, do I think I don't like calling any of the guys bad, because if you're playing in a major Division I college, you're not bad. Louis McCroskey was a top 100 recruit.
Yeah.
He came here highly touted, and he ended up transferring to Marist, and he averaged, I think his best year, he averaged 5 points per game. He was 3.9, 5.6, 3.8 were his 3 years here, and then he transferred and he went to Marist. He had a disappointing season or disappointing career at Syracuse. Do I think he's bad? No. For the purposes of this exercise, he's certainly somebody who didn't even come close.
People are asking us, why are you guys hating on players? Do you follow social media? What we did was not say like we hated them or we weren't hating them. It's our perception of the fan base. Someone got mad at us for saying Jimmy Boeheim was hated. I don't know how much we saw. The only reason he was here was because he was Jim Boeheim's son and that he chased Quincy Guerrier out of town.
Yeah, right. And if we remember, too, the timing of that is Guerrier decided to leave before Jimmy even came, right? But yes, at the time, there was a ton of pushback about Jimmy being here. And for those who are saying that Joe Girard wasn't hated, like, I stuck up for him all the time, and I took a lot of heat for that. Listen to the shows from back then. People were saying he wasn't good enough to play at Siena, and I mean, it was brutal.
Yeah, it's weird that got people mad. And there was an age problem with it. The generation, I'm not going to call them all out by their names, but the generation above mine was upset that we were hating on players, and we weren't.
No.
It was just us sharing our opinions. The younger generation just was brutal in it, just crapping on everybody.
Yeah.
And our generation was kind of just like, okay.
The other thing that we should bring up was there was a comment or two about the fact that there were a lot of recent players, that there are too many recent players in the grid.
Well, that's
but you brought up a good point about that, about social
That's
media.
where I was going on the age thing.
Right.
Someone goes, we could tell you guys are in your 20s because it's too new. And I responded, I'm in my 50s. But in 1988, like, I don't know if people hated Stevie Thompson. I don't know if people hated Derek Coleman, because there wasn't social media.
Right.
And there was only like 1 hour of call-in shows in Syracuse. Like, we didn't know who they hated back then.
Yeah. Now it's easy to go on and see.
Oh my God. I mean, like, people are mad that we said Nate George was a bad player or an average player, not a good player or a bad player. Yet you go on Twitter and people were accusing him of cheating.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Point shaving.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. I mean, it's nuts, the revisionist history. But again, it goes to show you, and we said this yesterday, that what we deal with here on a regular basis or for 2 hours every day, that is not necessarily reality, and it's not necessarily what a majority of people think.
Yeah.
But it was a majority of what we heard, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that grid we filled out yesterday was a reflection of what we've heard and experienced over the course of doing this show together.
Like, I know the fan base loves Buddy Boeheim, but I also know that there are still people that say Syracuse's downfall was the fact that Jim Boeheim allowed Buddy Boeheim to come here.
Yeah.
And that's a true observation that I'm making. And that meme, I've seen it done by the Padres fan base. I've seen it done by North Carolina's fan base, Steelers fan base. Everybody's doing it. We didn't create that just to rile people up.
You want to take a phone call here?
Sure, Nick in Syracuse.
Nick, what's going on?
Hey, guys, how you doing?
Good.
Just not on the basketball subject, but CBS Sports rankings for college football 2026 came out, and you said, the fans are going to go nuts if we have another 6-win season. They had Syracuse ranked 68, and they had Miami, SMU, Louisville, Clemson, Virginia, Pitt, Georgia Tech, Duke, NC State, Wake Forest, Florida State, and Cal all in front of Syracuse. So, look at that. Doesn't look like anybody else outside of Syracuse thinks we're going to be that great.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how many people in Syracuse think they're going to be that great. I think that 6-6 is reasonable, and I think that's got to be the expectation. And, 6-6 and beyond. Like they've got to get back to a bowl game. So I understand where you're coming from, Nick. I think that if they do finish 6-6, that's not. You're probably not going to be in the upper half of the conference. You'll probably be in the middle to the lower half. But they got to get back to a bowl game.
And the other thing, the transfer portal changes everything about predictions. Nobody knows,
right?
I've been saying it about, but nobody knows. There's going to be teams that last year everybody thought Clemson was the best team in the country.
Yeah.
And they barely,
Clemson and Penn State. Remember, we had several people who picked that as the national title
Everybody
game.
thought they were the best team in the country, and they were not close.
Yeah.
And it's just the transfer portal changes everything.
Yeah. And it does make it more difficult for to
predict it,
to do these preseason predictions, because there's so many unknowns and unknown commodities. And even if they had success at a different stop, their role might have been different. And how are they going to succeed or not succeed at their next program? So a lot of variables now, more so than ever before.
Supercat says, I don't know, Paulie Sibilli. It's the truth, guys. If we were still doing basketball without the transfer portal, and we were rolling into a year where we had 5 guys coming back or 2 guys coming back, I would know what we were getting. Yeah. It's impossible. Nobody knows how these guys are going to move up in either sport, how they're going to do. Scooter just said our backup quarterback couldn't get off the bench at Boise State. I didn't know that because I don't watch Boise State football. It's different, and I'm not going to sit and watch Boise State games. I apologize.
All right, let's stay on time here. Phone lines remain open, 315-437-7644. We'll take a break. We're back after this on ESPN Radio.
He had a Florida game. He was good against Tennessee, too. He had after the the fourth quarter of the UConn game, he started clicking. He was not. Every time I saw he was leading the country in passing, I was like, how the hell is that possible? He hasn't been great. I don't think he would have finished the season leading the country in passing. Once I do it the first time, it's always done the rest of the show. I hate that me being honest gets people mad. Do you guys want me to just do a whole show of gaslighting? If I ever have an opinion, you say it's wrong or I'm gaslighting, and it's what Syracuse says. Spatch and Louise, he has been to a chiropractor, a doctor. The chiropractor made it worse. If you actually watch the show, you would know these things. He was definitely better than Ricky. Yes, that's not in question. Rar? I don't think I've ever said that. I already did. They know who they are. You think I'm gaslighting you by saying I don't know when I really know? That would be bold, Steve. What if I knew how good Syracuse was going to be and I just kept saying, I don't know?
Love it.
Like, if we were rolling into last year's basketball season with Judah Mintz, Chris Bell, that group is seniors, I'd be like, this team better be good. This is going to be a good team. Holy cow. Look at what we got. But instead, we rolled in with Nate George, Soiree, a center I had never seen play basketball. I didn't know. No, but the fans don't know either. Like, everybody said that William Kyle was horrible, that they shouldn't be paying a guy who couldn't get off the bench at UCLA. And then everybody thought Nate George was going to be good, and it wasn't. You just don't know with the transfer portal. You say the wide receiver room would be very good. I would not say, I would not put that on my resume until I see it. Very, very green. The coach got fired for it. Yeah, Florida guy. It does fall back at coaching. I was wrong. But if we did have them, I would know. I would have known what they were getting. Okay, I'm going to make committed picks, Steve. Syracuse is going to win 10 football games. They're going to be great. Angeli is going to start game 1. I know. Welcome back to Orange Nation, Steve. The chat had been behaving for the past couple days, but they're not today. Baby, they just can't. The new reason to be mad at Pauly is because I say I don't know about the players I don't know about.
There are a lot of unknown commodities on this football team.
There's a lot of unknown commodities on the basketball team. There's a lot of unknown commodities in college football now. And unless you're sitting down and you're like Mike McAllister and you're breaking down tape, you don't know.
I mean, even if you're breaking down tape, again, there's no...
Well, yeah, you can't chemistry and coaching.
Yeah, right. And how it's all going to work when you get into a new environment. So, yeah, I mean, I think it makes sense that SU football is picked where it's picked. And, Vegas has got them at 5.5 wins. I mean, we went through the exercise, and we were both right there, right around 5 or 6 wins. I think that seems about right at the moment based on what we know today on May 14th.
Lie to the people, Steve. Just be committal in your answers.
Yeah, we were. I mean, we picked 6 wins. That's what we said. As of May,
I know nothing.
That's how we see it.
If you want to get shirts made, you can. Pauly knows nothing. Pauly knows zero. It's fine. I don't know anything.
You bring up a lot of unknown commodities on the basketball team as well. When you put these portal classes side by side from last year to this year,
the analytics are better.
The analytics are actually better. And I know that that's a popular complaint we get on the show a lot is that they don't have a star player like they did last year. And, yeah, they had Donnie Freeman back last year. But you look at this year, they're bringing in Gavin Doty and Aiden Tobias in both top, ranked among the top 100 in the portal. Last year, they got one of those guys, and that was Nathan George, who was 50th in the portal and then did not live up to being the 50th best player in the portal. Another popular thing that we get, Paulie, is that, they lack power conference guys on this roster. Yet you look at the top 100 rankings, 31 of the top 100, so, 31% come from outside power conferences. So it just so happens that they don't have, a guy who's coming in from another power conference. I've said all along, I don't think that is the be-all and end-all. Because, again, if somebody's coming in from a Power 4 conference team and he's coming to Syracuse at this point, to me that signifies that he wasn't great in his last stop or didn't play a lot of his last. Like William Kyle, for instance, was a guy who just didn't get opportunity there. And then he came here and he played very well. But there are certainly other guys that, came from power conference team. I mean, Chance Westry, and we know that things went south because of injuries with him. But again, that didn't pan out. Kyle Cuff's another example that we've brought up. Came from Kansas, didn't pan out here. Never really saw the court. I mean, saw it here and there. But if you're a power conference guy coming to Syracuse, to me that means that it's either injury related, or you didn't get the opportunity, or you didn't like the coach, or you weren't getting playing time.
Here's the other thing that I don't think people realize. Where do you think all the freshmen are going now? Unless you're a top 15, 20, recruit, you're probably ending up at one of the smaller schools now because nobody's taking freshmen.
I think teams are a little bit more selective now of who they take as freshmen.
Syracuse has one this year, and I know there was a coaching change, but the mid-majors are now minor league system, and they have to embrace that. And
right, so I mean, it's a trade-off, right? Because now, as a mid-major, you might have a shot at a guy that you wouldn't have had a shot at prior.
A top 100 guy, maybe an 80, 90, 85 guy.
So you get him for a couple of years on the front end of his career, but you're going to lose out on him on the back end of his career. As opposed to bringing in somebody, developing them for 4 years, and then having them on the back end of their career where they play very well for you, where they're a junior or senior. Those guys are now playing in the Power 4. So it's different. There's certainly a trickle-down effect to all this. But, yes, that's one of the things that we've seen is that, maybe a mid-major that wouldn't have had a chance on a guy is now getting that recruit. He's only, that school is only keeping him for a year or two, but they're getting him.
Yeah, the Q 1966 says Syracuse Q seems like a minor league team recently. Last year's team had 2 McDonald's All-Americans on it. It was a failure last year. The year before was what the hell is this roster? That was a minor league team.
Yeah. And again, I think a lot of that goes back to NIL, and we got a lot of pushback on that, Paulie. But I think the more that we're seeing, people were up in arms the other day about the revenue numbers that came out, and Syracuse was second to last in the ACC.
That team, and to be fair, that team had 2 McDonald's All-Americans on it too, but they also had Nate George. The roster was much better last year than it was the year before.
Correct.
I blame the year before totally on the roster.
Yeah. And again, a lot of that was just a lack of NIL and slow to to get up to speed in the NIL game. And hopefully they're able to close the gap. Again, that's Brian Blair's main job now. That he's got the job here. Is he's known as the NIL guy from Toledo. Come here, he's got to do that here, and hope that they can close the gap a little bit because the numbers are going up and up and up.
In year one. Like a guy who we said was where did we Judah Mintz people were torn on? Like I feel like he was the reason they won year one. He had the dog in him, as the kids would say, and he could score when needed.
Yep.
And JJ had not gone into whatever mental lapse or injury lapse that he had at that point.
And I remember these conversations like they were yesterday. People upset with Judah because he played hero ball. And
it was the same thing with Dante Green. Yeah. Dante Green came up yesterday. He was the only option.
Right. Yeah, Judah didn't want to lose. I mean, and I know you saw it multiple times. You saw Judah, tears in his eyes in the locker room after
Judah
losses.
was one of my favorite players.
He took losses hard.
I know he was not exactly always a fan favorite, and his antics on the court sometimes were bad, but I would take Judah Mintz at a second.
Right, but sometimes that led to bad shots because he didn't want to lose, and he felt like he had to put it on his own shoulders to get the job done because the guys around him weren't doing that. Yeah. So it's funny you bring up Judah Mintz. We all saw the social media tweet yesterday about, whether or not Judah Mintz has any eligibility left. And, he never played in an NBA game. So there's some talk that, if he wanted to, maybe he could come back to college. And then you said, would you take Judah Mintz back? And I think absolutely, in a heartbeat.
Yeah, revisionist history, you credit Red Autry with year one. Yeah, he won 20 games year one with a better roster. Like, he won with better players. And then year two, he had a bad roster. And last year, he had a good roster and didn't win. He got fired.
Yeah.
Bottom line, it's not tough.
Yeah. All right. We'll hit a quick timeout here. 315-437-7644. We'll check in on the market. We'll wrap up hour number one, and then Ric Beardsley will join us at the top of hour number two. We're back after this on ESPN Radio.
No, that was good JJ back then. And JJ, something went wrong. He either got hurt or his Rick Ankeeled. I think Judah likes Jerry, so yeah, he would. But I don't know if Syracuse has enough money for him. No, I never said it was a mishmash with not his players. I said it was a group of bad kids. I said it was a bunch of nut jobs. It was never a mismatch. He knew all of those players. He had coached them before. They were a bunch of basket cases.
Rules are just that, rules. The second kind of caller explains that her mom was about to go. There's always something that can be done.
Medicaid, it does take some planning. That's what we do.
Good morning, Manny and Company. I'm Jackie. Yes, Syracuse, right here at 224 Harrison Street, Suite 306. Yes, MedicaidLaw.net. You're welcome.
Drive into summer in one of Central New York's favorite SUVs, the Subaru Crosstrek. Hello, Syracuse. Dave Anthony here for Romano Subaru, inviting you to lease a new 2026 Subaru Crosstrek Premium for only $229 a month. Yes, just $229 a month. Prefer to buy. This Subaru Crosstrek is just $32,600 brand new and get low 2.9% financing up to 75 months. Syracuse.
Michael Antonio, there is no way. Those ticket prices are outrageous. So I was actually talking to my daughter yesterday because she asked me the same thing. She's like, so can we go? And I was like, no. $700, cheapest ticket in the nosebleeds. There's no way. And then it came out today that they're playing Thanksgiving night at home against the Chiefs. But
it's Thanksgiving, Steve.
Yeah, we're not doing that. It's a late game. We could still do Thanksgiving, still be there. But
it was Baby by Brandy. Yeah, San Diego Q's. I'm the same. I don't get lacrosse. The more I watch it.
I thought you liked it. I thought you said you.
I don't know that I like it. I don't like. I'll watch it in the playoffs. It's not.
What don't you like about it?
I don't know. It's just not my jam.
Yeah.
It's like hockey. I don't know.
Too much action, unlike baseball. Baseball's more your speed.
What is into you today?
No, I'm just wondering.
I like football.
So why do you?
I don't know. It's new. It's
like, what about it isn't your jam?
I don't know. I don't get it. It's just not my jam. Okay. I didn't grow up around it. I don't know.
If I had a press pass, yes, Michael Antonio, I would be there.
I'd rather watch a women's basketball game than a lacrosse game.
This Camry is one of our best sellers. It's reliable, sporty, and gets up to 51 miles per gallon thanks to hybrid technology. Plus, you get.
I grew up playing baseball, Steve. I played a lot of baseball as a kid. I love baseball.
So get your 2026 Camry with front-wheel drive, lane assist, pedestrian detection, and more.
Man, you're on one today. I get why L.A. Orange and Spatch and Louise hate you.
I just want to know what you don't like about it.
I played right field and left field. No, I'm left-handed, so I had to play the outfield. Too short to play first base.
The countdown is on to the Summit Federal Credit Union.
Played more right field because I had a decent arm.
Festival is back June 5th and 6th in and around Clinton Square. As always, admission is totally free. Chow down on
off your summer the right way at the Summit Federal Credit Union Taste of Syracuse.
For teams, Gaber.
Markets June 5th and 6th in and around
Baseball is serious in San Diego. Like, we played on travel teams and whatnot all year. I do. I enjoy women's basketball. I did not play at West Hill. I moved late in my life, and I just kind of melted into West Hill. I didn't play any sports at West Hill.
That's all. Finish as early as possible in January so that there's time for, we don't complain about.
What is this? It's playing a cut. What? I was playing a cut that has to play later in the show, Steve. What about us? Brandy.
I was going to say that was not Brandy.
Do you know this one?
I've heard this song before. I don't know it well, but yes, I've heard it before.
Brandy is am I too old for Brandy?
Brandy was
late 90s.
Mid to late 90s, yeah.
Yeah, like I don't remember the sitcom either.
Yeah, she was on Moesha, and she was on something else before that.
How's my dating life, Steve? Someone would like to know in the chat. Ellie Orange would like to no, not great. Not great. No. Preseason picked last. If you want to go. No transfers in. No transfers out, though, either. So.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, that's it. That's a good thing. So, yeah.
All right, let's bring on Mike from Lee Baldwin Company, get an update on the market. Mike, how's the market today?
Guys, we were strong across the board.
Good.
Nice bounce back day.
Unlike my dating life.
Yeah, that's right. The Dow's up 400 points, so I hope that's a good indicator right there. And the S&P and NASDAQ are both up about 0.75% as well, so we're having a good day across the board. Lots of diamonds out there, but we're going to go with Cisco Systems, a technology company, reported better than expected earnings last night, and they mentioned those key words, AI. Anyone who mentions AI these days, it seems like their stock goes up, and the stock is up about 13% to $115 a share. And our dog, we're going to go with Hershey. Hard to find a lot of dogs today, but Hershey Foods is trading lower just by a couple percent. Tough to diss on Hershey, a company like that with a great theme park, but it's having a down day today in an otherwise upward market. So overall, a really good day, and let's hope the momentum can continue, guys.
All right, it's what we'd like to hear, Mike. Thank you. Have a good rest of your day.
Thank you.
All right, all the diamonds, none of the dogs. Be sure to visit LeeBaldwin.com.
Your defunct mall store today, Steve, Disney stores. You remember those?
Yeah, of course.
They were owned and operated by the Walt Disney Company. They closed a majority in 2021 due to COVID, and moved the merchandise to Target. So you can still get it online.
So the Disney store, I mean, I don't go to the mall all that often. Is that it's not there anymore?
I believe it's gone.
Is it? Interesting. I did not know that.
So
obviously, Emma and Luke are no longer shopping at the Disney store. But we used to go there quite a bit when they were younger.
Steve, the chat has taken it upon themselves to offer dating tips to me.
Yeah? Any good advice?
Photog3513 says you need to utilize Indy as a wingman at Green Lakes. I usually walk Green Lakes twice a week with Indy. It has not helped.
Yeah.
Few ticks, but no women. I walk Indy everywhere. We go to Onondaga Lake Park, Green Lakes. I try to walk 3 miles a day when we can. 5 if possible. And Indy can do that.
She can do 5, yes, we know.
Yeah, and the weather has not been cooperative. I'm getting really mad at the weather, Steve.
Yeah.
I get on my Facebook, like the kids do, and it shows Facebook memories, and it's all pictures of Indy and I walking around this time of year, and we can't because it's too cold and rainy.
It is supposed to get warmer very soon. Today is not warm, but it's
we also
it's right
walk the Erie Canal wherever we can. That's another one.
Let's get to our Yankees updates, brought to you by Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus. Yankees lost yesterday in Baltimore. They only had 1 hit the entire game. It was a Jazz Chisholm hit in the 5th inning. Yankees fell 7-zip. Adley Rutschman among those with a home run for the Orioles. Yanks dropped to 27-17 overall, 2.5 games back of the Rays for first place in the AL East. Anthony Volpe back in the lineup, did have an error yesterday. And Max Fried struggled again, left his start early with some elbow soreness. They are going to go for imaging, but he said afterwards that he's not too worried about the results. That is your Yankees update, brought to you by the Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus.
How'd the A's do, Steve?
How did the A's do?
Come on, man. I think you have one job on this show.
I think they won.
If you're going to run your mouth and be an A's fan, be an A's fan.
Okay. I believe they won. Let me just give me 2 seconds.
What makes you believe that?
Because when
they're better than you thought they were?
Well, they are better than I thought they were. But I checked the score yesterday. The game was not over. Yeah, see, they won 6-2. They were up 4-2 when I looked last night.
They're now 2 games over 500.
Yep.
Right about where they were. They beat a very good Cardinals.
There's aren't there 3 teams in the American League with a winning record? They're one of them.
Yeah, that just shows you that it's a bad league.
Okay,
and they're
but you
winning
keep. Oh, no, okay, so Cleveland now has a winning record as well. So there's 4 teams.
More dating tips from the chat. Change my cologne. Michael Antonio says he has cousins and friends. No, I would never date a relative of anybody that's in our chat or listens to this show. Oh, that sounds horrible. Could you imagine like going to Thanksgiving and someone from the chat was at the table, Steve? Oh my God. If you had to be related to anybody in the chat, who would it be? YouTube, Jordan?
I like Jordan. You know I like Jordan.
I think I would take Jordan, too, just because I know him. Oh, what a nightmare. You imagine if you just got there on Christmas morning and L.A. Orange was sitting around the tree waiting for you. I wouldn't do that to someone asked if Kim has any friends. I wouldn't do that to Steve. I wouldn't force me into Steve's life ever. San Diego Q says, I take offense. You should. You should. I don't want to be related to you.
All right, let's hit a timeout here. We've got Ric Beardsley set to join us at the top of the second hour. We'll talk Syracuse lacrosse as they get set to take on North Carolina in the national quarterfinals on Saturday.
Dating tip. Hey, down there says dating tip. Change your personality.
It just might work.
That's probably sound advice.
It just might work. All right, Ric Beardsley joins us next on ESPN Radio.
I have a girlfriend who lives in Canada who's hot also. No, it's the last question, Swiftman. Never hooked up with a midget. I don't hate lacrosse. I just don't get it. It's just not my jam. Right in the middle of Walmart, Swiftman. If I see a lady at Walmart I like, just do that. Oh, I wish I could get a San Diego sugar mama that had like season tickets and lived in the gas lamp and I could just walk from my bed to the games. Yes, Tim is here today. Last show of the week for him. Is her name Eileen? Steve, you like that joke? I have a one arm, one leg girl for you. Her name is Eileen.
Dad joke.
What do you call a guy with no arms and no legs and a pile of leaves, Steve? Russell. No, it's Russell. Matt is on the porch. Bob is in the ocean. Trying to think of some more of those. Hanging on the wall is Art. Gomez is on vacation. I was watching Chris Hansen on the treadmill yesterday at Planet Fitness. And I was like, if
were
someone
you listening to or just
I was watching the video. I was watching and listening, Steve.
Okay.
I don't think it would translate
No,
if I was
that's
just
right.
watching two people sit at a table.
About what?
In general? No, but Chris Hansen caught a Washington, D.C. police officer in this thing, and it was brutal to watch. No, I was watching his shows. I went to the restaurant that's out in like Gallagher Square that like you could like walk out. That's where I went for dinner when I was out there, and then I went and sat up. Who are the Jack can be a Catch a Predator? Everyone. He isn't going to show up at your house. You show up at his house, Michael Antonio. Come on, watch the show. His podcast is one of my favorite listens. It's so... I don't know what makes that entertaining. Like, you laugh, but you shouldn't be laughing, and he gets it. Like, it's so... Like, because people getting caught committing crimes or just say the wildest stuff. Let her cook for a little bit. Brandy is our artist of the day. Steve, sitting up in my room. I picked the longest talk over. I apologize. Let's go to Ric Beardsley.
Rick, what's going on?
Fellas, how are you today? Thanks for having me on. Really excited. It's playoff time for the SU men's team, and I'm listening and I'm coming into the one and only Brandy. Baby, 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 baby.
All right, please don't do that again.
Yeah, please don't do that again.
First of all, what are you trying to say? Because of the 12 polyps on my throat that I can't sing anymore from all the yelling I've done in life?
We're driving into our second hour, brought to you by Burdick BMW of Cicero and Burdick Toyota. And, you know, before we get into this North Carolina game, let's just quickly get your thoughts on the win over Yale. The decision to stick with Jimmy McCool in particular, Rick, he was not good in the first half. He was phenomenal after halftime, and we saw Gary Gate a little bit earlier in the year in that first meeting, in fact, against North Carolina, decided to pull him. I guess let's start there with the decision to leave Jimmy McCool in, and then that second half performance really on both ends of the field.
I mean, Jimmy McCool is one hell of a goalie. And sometimes guys just start off, but some guy, a little bit slow, but some guys are just playoff guys. They step up in big games. And, the coaching staff felt that what they saw wasn't as much as Jimmy McCool's fault as it might have been the defense giving shots on top of him. He made some adjustments at halftime to where, they were shooting, Yale was shooting low on him. And then was starting to get down to those low shots. And then those guys didn't adjust to shooting to, low to high. But any way you say it, the tale of two halves for Jimmy McCool, and it worked out great for the guy, and good going for the young man from Syracuse. Love it.
How unusual is that, Rick, to play. I mean, for a goalie to look like that in the first half and then to really go do a 180 in the second half. And I mean, he was the difference in the game. 12 saves after halftime, made a couple of stops there in that final
huge stop
sequence.
at the end. I mean, huge stop.
How unusual is that for a goalie?
I mean, typically goalies are very tempered, I might say, and different. I mean, my college goalie, Chris Saran, he's now an attorney, lives in Texas. He went to church every day. That's just not right. Whether you like God or not, you don't go to church every day, right? And, and people would say whatever, but, like, the guy went out like an animal. Like, it's just the way it worked. And then Alex Rozier, he ended up being a prison guard at Rikers Island. He was definitely not right in the head either. So college goalies at that level are a little bit different, a little bit quirky, but they also are a little bit resilient and makes them tough. And how weird is that? I've seen it happen. I've seen guys where they get pulled and it lights a fire under them. And the coaching staff knows Jimmy McCool better than we do. So maybe at halftime they said something to him and he assured them and made them feel comfortable. Or, I've seen guys get pulled and then get put right back in. It just depends on the goalie, the situation in the game, obviously. But I think big stops at the end. I took a phone call from earlier today. My daughter Angela, I scooted back to Syracuse for the day, and my daughter Angela popped in and said hello to me. And while I was there, Andy Shea from Yale called me, and we chatted about the game. And it was amazing. Like I'd said to him, that shot was the right shot. Your guy took at the end. He's like, absolutely it was. Not many people see that. But boy, did Jimmy McCool make a hell of a save. And like I said, the specialists in the playoffs are what gets you deep. A great goalie can do a lot of things for a defense that's struggling. And Syracuse's defense, quite frankly, it struggled a little bit in that game.
And along those lines, Rick, we had Paul Carcaterra on earlier in the week, and he talked about his concern with SU's short stick defensive midfielders and just, a lot of those long ISO dodges that Yale was able to put on the midfielders. How concerned are you by that unit?
Well, Yale beat Syracuse up a majority of the day, dodging from the midfield with their team speed. I mean, they had an incredible amount of team speed, and Syracuse is not at a loss for having great athletes. The thing that I would say would maybe throw up a red flag or is an alarm going in, last year, this same game, I think, was 18-17, correct, when we played Princeton. We won 80% of the faceoffs in the second half, shot like 80%, and then gave up a ton of goals. So you got to clean that up, right? You can't go into this game and expect the same thing to happen. North Carolina is a very formidable foe. They have arguably the best faceoff guy in the country in Grady Wambach, who's down the street from Rochester, New York. I'm looking forward to Jimmy McCool and him in that chess match and that physical battle. But again, Syracuse just needs to clean up on the defensive end, which I'm sure they will. John Adern is a very good defensive coach, and those kids are very good players, and I think they'll figure it out. But by the way, it's really hard to beat a team 3 times. I'm going to be frank. It happens, but it's really hard. Because the third time at UNC, what do you need to change? Do you change anything at all? Or do you? I mean, I feel like we've been in this situation before, guys. I think I've had this conversation with you in past years of Syracuse trying to beat a team for a third time, or playing them for a third time. I just think, what can Syracuse do differently in that game, especially if Owen Duffy is not available to go for UNC.
Well, along those lines, too, and it's interesting because, getting back to our conversation with Kark, he said he thinks that North Carolina might be more difficult to defend if Owen Duffy doesn't play, meaning he doesn't think he's going to be 100%.
Yes, he'll have more balance.
We want to get your thoughts on that as well.
Yes,
talk to us about the Owen Duffy situation.
Yeah, my old teammate Paul Kark's about one of the best there is to do this, right? He looks at things from not only an analyst perspective but from a player's perspective, and he's still very in touch with the game as much as of our, because he still does coach a lot in the off season. Owen Duffy, playing or not playing, you're right, it creates offensive balance. Then other guys step up, hence Dom Petramala for 10 goals. Dom Petramala has been a Syracuse killer since his father left, right? He has been a Syracuse killer. But North Carolina's balance could hurt Syracuse. It becomes a a multifaceted offense going at a defense in different spots. And that can cause a lot of nightmares, especially when defending, in a slide package or, your basic principles of where you want to put guys defensively. So, he is right. The rope unit, as I've always said for years, you go as far as your defensive midfield unit will take you. That is one of the most important things come playoff time. It's well more important to control the middle of the field defensively than it is offensively in these big games. And I think Syracuse has to, still has to try and win the middle of the field. If we win the middle of the field, we win this game. If we don't win the middle of the field, meaning rides, clears, ground balls, face-offs, defensive ground balls, we will not be successful in this endeavor getting to a Final Four with a team that, by the way, has been hyped since day one to get back to that.
John O'Derna in the second meeting against North Carolina put some zone on the Tar Heels, and it really worked, especially in the first half of that game. What adjustments do you think we will see defensively? Do you think we will see some zone in this game on Saturday?
Well, I'm a D guy, obviously, and I'm coaching at a pretty decent level. I mean, D1 defense, D1 zones are, especially if they don't press the ball behind, are pretty difficult to beat because of the goalie strength. But you have to find the percentages of where guys shoot from, the chinks in the armor of their offense on who you want to have shoot, where you want to press the ball or put the ball. A lot of that goes in, those analytics go into it. But without Owen Duffy, going at them with a zone might be a little bit more difficult because Owen Duffy is the distributor of that, right? So you can focus on a distributor, right? You can't focus on six guys who are unselfish to move the ball. And if that ball moves against the zone, it will be a problem. But if you're coming into that game and you are John O'Derna, he's going to come up with a great game plan. He's going to let the matchup sort it out where they sort out. But it's going to be pretty difficult to come in and out of a zone, especially when, most ACC coaches' egos get in the way. They don't want to play a zone. It's about their guy versus their guy. And that's what it's always been in lacrosse, guys. Coach Simmons had an immense ego like that. It was my guy's better than your guy. There were times that when I was a freshman, he'd put me up against the other team's freshmen just to prove a point. Right? My freshman's better than yours, even if it sacrificed a matchup. But, those guys will be ready. The staff will be ready. But the defensive game plan, he's got to have something, maybe a shutoff, maybe something, denying one away. I always thought that denying one away and slowing down the way a ball moves off a dodge in college lacrosse was always a great idea. Because most offenses are designed to do things after they draw a slide. If you can shut the next pass or the second pass off that throws a chink in the reversal ball armor, we call. So I think, if Syracuse can come out and junk it up, maybe they don't have to junk it up. But if you've lost twice to them, maybe you got to think about doing something different than you did in the first two games. So I would assume looking at the first two games, they'll do something different.
Last one on Syracuse UNC, and I want to get a couple big picture items with you. Do you think that Syracuse is going to win this game? Because you said a moment ago that it's tough to beat a team three times in 1 year. We know about this senior class and it's championship or bust and all of that. Do you take your heart out of it here for a second?
Come on, guys! You're going to get me killed in this community.
Do you think SU wins this game?
I do by a goal. Like I said, it's really hard to beat a team at this level three times. The one big thing that I will look forward to is how do they contain Joey Spallina? Because they contained him the last game that they played him. And then they got shocked, right? So, you have to do some things to stop that offense. Because I can tell you right now, Finn Thompson and him are a dangerous duo. Right? I take all my personal feelings aside here. They're a dangerous duo when they get going, especially with simple little things like a little bit of a slip cut, a little bit of a dive cut. Like all those little things. Finn Thompson, if he has a great game, Syracuse could run away with this.
All right. When you look at the other matchups this weekend, Rick, which one stands out to you? What are you most looking forward to outside of Cuse, Carolina?
Who are the matchups? Give them to me. I didn't pull them up. I didn't have time. I was on the phone.
You've got Penn State, Princeton, which I know a lot of people are interested in, given the fact that they played at the very beginning of the season.
Yep.
And Penn State beat them, and beat them pretty handily as well. I think a lot of people
Hunter
are pointing
Aquino's
to that
back,
game.
right? I know a lot about Penn State. The house I live in Darien, the pool house is owned by a guy whose son plays defense at Penn State, Mark McNamara. So I hear a lot about the Penn State games, right? Because they're always going. The McNamara's are going on the weekends, and I'm like a house sitter, right? Hunter Aquino is an excellent player. Penn State runs the zone at times, and they're brutal. I will say this: I do have Princeton in my national championship game. I do. I think Princeton's excellent. I think they have a ton of great offense. They're really smart on defense, and they control the middle of the field. I think, like I said, that matchup's going to be a great one. They're both big and physical. Great defense, but it's going to be that one. I'm going to tell you, I could get thrown out of this house that I'm at, when I get back there tomorrow. But I think I got Princeton in that one for sure, winning by 2 goals actually.
All right, and then the other matchups, just to throw it out there for our listeners: Notre Dame, Hopkins, Duke, and Georgetown. When you look at the 8 teams that are left, Rick. Where does Syracuse kind of stack up for you in terms of likelihood of winning the national championship? Are they somewhere in the middle? Where would you kind of put Syracuse?
I would say they're a favorite. It's a 50-50 shot they win. Okay. Right? I mean, it's Syracuse is good, but so is the dark horse of it for me is Duke. Duke's the dark horse for me. They're so talented. You have to watch them. They beat a really, 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 really good Richmond team. And that was a back and forth game. Hopkins winning and beating Cornell, another Central New York team, was crazy. Duke scares me if I'm anybody, just like Virginia did. But then you also look at Georgetown. Georgetown mucked it up against Virginia, who's got so much talent. It could be anybody's year, but Syracuse, in my opinion, there's a 2-to-1 chance they're raising a trophy at the end of the year. And whether I want them, whether guys want them to or not, and people hate Syracuse because they're good or they're bad, whatever you want to do, I think Syracuse has a 50-50 shot of raising that trophy. And I think that was a lot better than what people were saying mid-season. I think Syracuse is starting to hit its stride with all their players. You know what? Trimming back a few goals on defense can be as simple as holding the ball a little longer at this level. So maybe they do that. Maybe that's what their strategy is. But if they get past North Carolina, you might as well look the hell out, because Syracuse is coming down the tracks with a big orange choo-choo train. They're going to run over a lot of people.
And then lastly, you talk about anybody can win it. The parity of this game is certainly in a great spot. We saw this week that SMU's athletic director said that they're in the very early stages of potentially adding men's lacrosse.
I saw that.
Yeah. So what do you make of that decision, and I guess where the game of college lacrosse is right now when you hear that?
Well, first and foremost, Texas has been putting out some of the best players in America and some of the best teams in the country in high school for the last couple of years. There's a lot of former Syracuse guys down there in Texas. Chris Saran is the head coach at Dallas Jesuit, who just won a state championship. He's been there for 25 years, coaching and had a law practice. Dom Finn is in Austin. He's running a program called Iron Horse. They're huge, 600 kids. You have Mike Pressler at Lake Highland Prep. Not Lake Highland Prep, at Highland Park, where he's the head coach there, where that team's nationally ranked now as a public school. And, they're putting out great guys. I mean, it would be incredible if SMU were to go varsity. What was odd, I have 2 players that formerly played of mine in high schools, one at Darien and one at Bergen Catholic, that are on that team. And, what was odd with that announcement from the athletic director, I don't think people saw that their coach stepped down. So, weird happenings, right? You get the coach steps down, guy announces there might be going, you're hinting at it. Then the next thing is what coach takes on that program, right? What coach do you bring in with a big enough name? And SMU, right? We're talking about Southern Miss, a team that's an oil town team. NIL money? Can you say that? Wow, they could get back into it. SMU, Ricky B is ready to be your head coach. Don't be scared. You know I can handle it. Let's go.
All right, what'd you have for lunch, Rick?
Oh, Paul, you'd be disappointed in me. I'm down 15 pounds. I came here. I love my wife, Tori, dearly. She's the greatest, so beautiful still. But the fridge is really not stocked with things. But you know what I ate? Cold cut roll-ups. Come on, Rick. Come on, Tori, give me some food. But that's all I have was cold cut roll-ups, man. What?
Ham, roast beef, ham,
nope,
bologna,
it was salami and fresh mutts roll-ups, brother.
All right.
With a little balsamic glaze. And did you see Steve light up when I said balsamic glaze? Ooh. Steve 100% got the infantile.
You like balsamic? That's weird. I would have never taken you for any.
On mozzarella? Oh, it's very good.
Thank you, Steve. With some salt on it, right, Steve?
I enjoy it too. Just Steve putting a condiment on anything is shocking to me.
Steve, are you a non-condiment gentleman?
For the most part, yes. For the most part. Yes.
Do you like ketchup?
No.
Really?
Honey mustard. Yeah, honey mustard.
He hates mayonnaise. Like it's his arch enemy.
You look at him; it's got too much fat on it for him. The guy's skinny.
Yeah.
No, he's finicky.
So, Steve, let me ask you another question. This is I'm hoping you say no. But are you the type of guy that takes home the honey mustard packets from Tully's?
No, I don't.
We had that discussion the other day about people stealing from restaurants.
That's right, we did.
Do they really?
Yeah. No,
people steal those things?
Yeah, of course they do.
They take sugar packets. They take jelly, butter.
Yeah, I will admit it. When I was living in New Jersey with just Angela, and I would forget Sweet and Low, and I was making coffee at home, I would literally grab a handful of Sweet and Low at the thing at Dunkin' Donuts. I did it one time and replenished it. It's awful.
Yeah.
You know what I can guarantee you I have in one of my drawers right now?
Please don't tell us, Paulie.
I've never, ever even tried it.
Oh.
Duck sauce.
What?
It comes in with Chinese food, and I don't think I've ever put it on my food.
You just save them?
No, I don't throw them out because what if the apocalypse happens?
You've never put duck sauce on like the little cracker noodles they give you?
No, it goes on. I use soy sauce only. I've never tried it.
Soy sauce. I'm a big boneless barbecued spare rib guy. The best boneless barbecued spare ribs, and obviously not, I don't have an NIL deal with them, is Eastwalk right there on Thompson Road. It's excellent. I used to eat it all the time. But you throw a little duck sauce on there, adds a little sweetness. It's pretty good, Paulie. Pretty good.
I'll try it. I'm not opposed to try it. I've always been
apparently.
Soy sauce. Yeah, I don't think Steve would try. If I brought in one and we cut the corner off.
Steve, on a hot dog, what do you eat a hot dog with?
He hates hot dogs.
I don't like hot dogs, but I would have mustard on it, and that's it.
Hold on.
A spicy
whoa.
Or like a
Steve,
brown mustard. Yeah.
Are you a citizen?
Yeah.
Because
you want to hear
you don't like hot
his
dogs?
favorite food?
Please tell me you like hamburgers.
No, I'll eat hamburgers. I don't like hot dogs.
Nothing on it?
On a hamburger?
Yeah.
Cheese.
No, but ketchup, mustard?
Nah. No, just a plain cheeseburger.
Wow. So Steve, steak. What do you have on your steak? Talk to me.
I mean, I don't put
You're gonna
sauces
get
mad.
on my... No one does.
You go ketchup, Paulie?
No.
All right.
Medium rare, salt and pepper and garlic powder.
Do you know what's the most...
Steve, what temperature do you like your steak at, Steve?
Medium well. Medium well.
I mean, that depends. That's okay. But...
No, it's not.
The best steak condiment is straight horseradish.
Oh, yeah. I will do that.
Just not the horseradish, with the just straight up.
Not the creamy.
Gives a little burn in your schnoz. Don't have the one from Coleman's. That thing will make you choke.
Yeah, and he can't eat red sauce anymore because he's old, so he gets what he calls chicken infante.
Yeah,
he eats just a chicken cutlet with a piece of mozzarella on top of it.
It's like chicken parm with no red sauce. Yeah.
Have you ever, Steve?
You got to do what you got to do.
Have you ever had a sandwich go like a favorite downstate one is semolina bread, right? Which we don't have. We rare have it up here. Semolina, a chicken cutlet, mutts, and then broccoli rabe on it, and a little bit of oil and vinegar.
Yeah, I mean, I would eat that.
That's delicious.
That. Yeah.
I wonder who makes that around here.
Good.
Probably no one.
Yeah. Well, if you find it, let me know.
I will. All right, boys. Thanks for the food talk and the lacrosse analyst. I appreciate it.
No problem.
All right, Rick. Be well. We'll talk soon.
Be
Ric
guys
Beardsley
good.
Joining
Big
us
game
here.
tonight. FM CNS. Go CNS girls.
All right.
What do you think of a Paulie Rick cooking show? Q Sports Talk exclusive.
That would be Sean and Marley.
Sounds fun. What did he say?
Nothing.
All right, we'll hit a timeout here. Phone line's back open if you want to check in. 315-437-7644. Back after this on ESPN Radio.
Lucky 7 sandwiches are good. I had one of my exes introduced me to that place. I had never even heard of it. She also introduced me to what's the Mexican place that's right down the street now? Panchitos. Oh, they're good too. You know what I had the other day? I made a little, I threw some teriyaki sauce in the slow cooker, chicken thighs in, and then egg noodles, poured the sauce, and had the thighs right on top of them. Who you voting for mayor, LA Orange? Let's dox you politically. I don't have a type. I think I'm a type. A girl needs to have a type in order to date me. Loud, obnoxious dwarf. Oh, there we go. He's a filthy lib. I don't want to be related to you, Michael Antonio. I had to do an anonymous complaint about a place yesterday because it's gross. You guys just behave. Everybody just get along. I wish Gaper would just stop attacking everybody for no reason. I don't think he eats buffalo wings because they're too spicy for him. No, you just personally attack everybody. Like, I'm not the only one that notices it. No, I narked to a corporate office. No, he gets personal for no reason. Like, he doesn't even pay attention to the show. He just sits and blasts people. Get it back. I haven't even acknowledged you today until now, and you've just been making fun of me the whole show. Haven't even acknowledged you today. Where the hell's Tim? I want to be down, Steve. Tried my whole life to be down. Nobody wants me. I'm not cool enough to be down with anybody, Steve. This is where you say, I invite you to be down with me all the time.
I do, and you always turn me down.
That doesn't, you don't help.
Which makes me down.
I don't feel like you help my social status enough for me to go out in public with you.
That's funny.
Let's go do today's business with Tim Leonard.
Yes, brought to you by Superior Plus Propane. Ric Beardsley made me very hungry there.
Are you doing your show today? Yes.
Yes, yeah.
When do you leave for...
Tomorrow morning.
Oh, got
yeah, no show tomorrow. We got the PGA Championship tomorrow.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah, that starts at 2 o'clock on the AM only today.
Yes, and then
Steve
2 to 7 tomorrow.
Steve is upset that it starts at 2, like it was my fault that it starts at 2. He was hoping it would start at noon so we wouldn't have to do a show because he hates his show doing this.
That's not true.
Yesterday he goes, I hate doing this show. I wish it started at noon.
That didn't happen. But the part about wanting a day off, that may have happened. Yes, that may have happened.
A little PGA Championship update for you here. The course is playing a little bit tougher than I think many projected here. There's only 3 under is leading. There's 4 guys at 3 under. Kind of no-namers, I would say, actually. Min Woo Lee's a pretty good player. He's 3 under. He's in the house. And then Jordan Spieth going for the career Grand Slam. Remember him? He is 2 under through 16, so he's playing pretty well. Brooks Koepka 1 under. Just kind of scrolling here. I have not paid attention a ton, but...
Scotty hasn't teed off yet.
Yeah.
He's playing a little bit later today. A few of the big... Rory's out there, though. I think he's +2 last I saw.
Yeah.
DeChambeau's blew up. He's +7, I think. Yeah, I mean, you're right about the scores being a little bit higher than we were expecting.
Bryson +7 through 17. That's crazy.
Yeah. He's had some issues today.
Yeah, so that's your PGA Championship update for now. We'll monitor that tomorrow. Rory is +2 through 16. Tyrrell Hatton +2. Ludwig Oberg +2 as well. A little bit surprising to see him struggling. We talked about SMU potentially joining the men's lacrosse ranks and adding a 6th team to the ACC in men's lacrosse there with Ric Beardsley, and he put in his name for the SMU head coaching job there, clearly. This would be very interesting. It seems like it's very early in the conversation right now. They do have the facility. They also have a pretty good club team, like Rick mentioned, so they could be elevated to D1 potentially. It feels like this is like the only school right now that when everyone else is cutting programs, SMU has the money. They just have fun money, apparently, to just say, why don't we get in on men's lacrosse? And Dallas is a good area for lacrosse. It would be the only team in Texas that is D1 on the men's side if they added. And then you would probably have to expand the tournament as well, because then you're talking about having an automatic qualifier for the ACC and getting up to 6 teams.
So, yeah, I mean, I think that, listen, I think there's reason to believe that if SMU were to add lacrosse, given the resources that they have, you would have to take them seriously, right?
Yeah.
Maybe not initially, it might take them a little bit to get going, but given the money that they can put behind their programs, I think that would be. I do think it would be a good ad for the ACC. I think it would be a good thing for college lacrosse, and you're right. Then the ACC would be able to get that automatic bid. It would create more travel for everyone, obviously, across the board. But I think that just speaks to the growth of the game. And we're talking about right now about how this is one of the most wide open NCAA tournaments maybe we've ever seen before in college lacrosse. And, like Jacksonville, we're talking with John Galloway down in Jacksonville, and, Syracuse this year went out west and played in Utah. And, now we're talking about a team in Texas, school in Texas, maybe adding lacrosse. I think all of those things are ultimately good for the game.
Yeah, it's been growing a little bit. I think this year in particular, it's such a wide open year because there's not a clear-cut number 1 team this year. And we've been saying for the last 3 or 4 years, there's more parity for sure. And I think we're seeing that this year as well, but on top of that, there's not that Cornell from last year, that Notre Dame from a couple years ago. So it really just feels like these games are going to be crazy this weekend. I would say, who knows what's going to happen in terms of like all the matchups this weekend. It's just going to be fun to watch, probably a lot of close games. Before we get into the college football playoff, 2014 playoff a little bit, Paulie, do you have any thoughts on your Sixers firing Daryl Morey?
It was time. He had run his course. They've got to make some tough decisions, though. They can't
trust the process.
They can't let their heart get in the way. You know, it might be time to pull the plug on Embiid, but if you give up Embiid, you might have to give up draft picks with him to get anything in return.
Yeah.
And that's weird to say about a guy who's been an MVP and can be a game changer, but his health history.
Yeah, like if you're a contender right now, like what is your interest level in Joel Embiid?
It would be high, but you've got to keep him healthy somehow. But you also aren't going to give anything up for him to get him. Like
high because you feel like
he
might
be a difference maker.
He might be the missing piece, but
I mean, you saw it in
for one game
in Boston. He was a game difference, you know.
Yeah, for essentially one game. Yeah, I don't know. I think he's washed up. I really do.
I don't know that he's washed up. He still puts up the numbers. He just hurt all the time.
Yeah, you got to be available, especially this time of year, and when they needed him most.
That's why I'm saying you probably would have to give up some draft picks to go along with him, or another player, which you can't afford to give up.
Yeah.
Got a kicker for us?
I got two.
Oh,
okay. This is a weird one.
Bonus kicker.
Yeah, double kickers. I got a punter and a kicker.
Good one.
All right. Okay, the punter is this. AI finally did something useful, guys. This gentleman had $400,000 in Bitcoin and got super high and changed his password and forgot it.
Oh, no.
All right. So he couldn't think of it. So what he did was he dumped all of his hard drives into AI and had it guess what the word was until it finally found his password for him.
Jeez.
After like 3 days.
Holy cow.
So, yeah, that's a story number one. Now, this one's wild. All right, St. Paul, Minnesota. A man is facing charges after a toddler in his care pulled a gun from a diaper bag during a traffic stop Monday afternoon. All right, hear this. The 37-year-old man is facing one count of endangerment of a child with a firearm, carrying a pistol without a permit, both gross misdemeanors. I don't even know what that means.
It's gross.
So they pull the guy over. The 3 kids in the back seat, none of them wearing seatbelts. One of the children is crying, so the older toddler reaches down to grab a tissue out of the bag, also brings up a handgun.
Wow.
Was the safety on? Do we know?
I don't even know, but they just said he asked the kid to set it down, and they did. But that had to be bonkers.
That is crazy.
So there you go. Also, a 19-year-old, I'll go 3 kickers. A 19-year-old pulled over, drunk driving. What do you think his blood alcohol was?
19.
Yeah.
Man. Doesn't matter at
2
that age,
point
right?
something. What's like as high as you can get?
It was 0.319. So it was so high that the legal level of alcohol for a minor is 0.02, I think. Where it's
What do you mean legal for a minor?
So to have in your system when you're pulled over.
You're allowed to have some alcohol
Apparently,
in your system?
yes. That's what I just saw. It was like 0.02. Adult is 0.08.
Right.
Because you might take like an NyQuil or something maybe is the reason.
All right.
So. Yeah.
And what was it? It was 3? Is that what you said? 0.0. What'd you say?
0.319.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah, it was 4 times the legal.
So what happens to that person?
They go to jail.
Yeah, but I mean, in terms of like, if you were of age, you would have your license revoked.
You get your license. All the same things happen.
Well, but I mean, he's underage, so does he?
Yeah, he probably gets punished
more.
Yeah, that's a crime in itself.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So yes.
Okay, I just didn't know if then in terms of when you can reapply for a license and all that, if maybe that's extended. Wow. Okay, we'll hit a timeout here. We've got about 20 minutes left in the show. We're back after this on ESPN Radio.
Vendo, I'm not going to play stereotypes of crimes with you, but yes, it was a white kid. And something else that just keeps coming up from you angry people is Paulie doesn't want to be friends with you guys. I don't want to hang out with anybody. But if what you guys like, there's people in the chat I've reached out to and said, hey, can I help you with this? Do you need this? You know, if they do something that I know about or they need tickets to something, I will reach out and offer them to them. So, yeah, I'm not a dick to everybody.
Just the ones that are a dick to you.
No, I don't want to hang out with anybody. Like, I don't want to hang out with Steve. But if Steve needs tickets to something, I'll give him tickets, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Armosaurus is, I saw him on the street the other day. I would have hung out with you Friday if I didn't have my groceries and wasn't wearing sweatpants. Do you think I'm angry, Phillies Most Wanted? Like, do you think I just walk around shaking my fist? I didn't say LA Orange. I don't think I think LA Orange is funny. Steve's the one that hates him.
You see Garrett Higo got a 2-stroke penalty.
No
shot
problem.
1 under.
Yeah.
So really shot 3 under. That's the best round of the day.
Oh, I would do that in a second for anybody. If that was is that a job that you could just go and pull the plug on people that are on life support for?
Wonder what he said after the round. If he said anything as to like why he was late.
So they said he was on the practice green, and there's a rule that you have to be in the waiting area. My understanding is the practice green was like right next to the tee, but the area where he had to be was like he had to be inside a certain rope.
Back in the day when we were in a commercial break,
just on the other side of the rope putting.
I'm shutting their mics off.
Oh, here he is. With
different.
Great accent.
Can you walk into a bar with a grocery bag? Oh, I'm here for it too. I do sometimes miss the days when I could just take a break and Steve and I could talk about anything. And Gaper, I wouldn't be eaten alive. I handle it just like they do. You don't think Michael K freaks out and Don LaGreca freaks out? You're the ones that act like I'm different because I get mad. Those guys get mad on the regular.
I was there on time but late. It's a pretty funny quote.
Well, right. It doesn't sound like he was like running up to the first tee.
Yeah, Phillies Most Wanted. Sports radio has always been combative, but it hasn't always been where you are talking during commercial breaks.
Wasn't like inside the ropes within the time frame that he had.
And just sitting there and making fun of the person, completely not about sports the whole time. Stop the Napoleon smug. That's what radio hosts are, you dope. Like, if I just...
It's funny how you've been fighting with the chat this entire time.
I'm not even fighting with them. Like, do you want me to have no personality? Like, do you want me to just come on and be like Florida, what do you want tickets to, Florida guy? If I can get you tickets, I will. I usually don't do it for people that ask, though.
skate.
Slow skate, and I butchered it. I just want to be good at my job once. It's so not hard. You know what I'm going to do today, Steve? I'm going to go and take the bumps out of my log completely.
I do that every time I am in your spot. I do that at the start of the show.
But I'm going to take them so they don't even appear in the log ever
But what
again.
about those days when you're like, oh man, I forgot to pull Brandy sound?
If they're on the button bar, I can just do this.
Yeah, you're doing it.
Quickly.
This is Orange Nation.
Okay. Whatever works for you. Whatever helps us avoid all of these mistakes every day, I think I'm in favor of that.
I'm incompetent, Steve.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a way to avoid them.
Yeah. I don't know if you know that or not. But yeah, I'll find a way to screw it up. I'm just going to take that option of screwing it up out. Now it'll just be dead silence.
You have been better about, you usually have to come in and say, is the board good? I feel like you've been nailing that. Like you've gotten the show off to a good start. It hasn't been dead air at the start of the show in a while.
Yeah.
So we got that
you come in and you come in and it happened when you were gone once recently.
Oh no.
But you come in and go, hey, is everything set up? And I go, yeah, of course it is. Even though it's not. And then when you leave, I change it.
I noticed that. I noticed when you leave, then he starts pressing buttons.
Yeah. So it messed up when I wasn't here. At least it shows I'm worth something, I guess.
All right, Tim, what do you got for us?
We got the college football playoff discussion, 2014 playoff on the table. We don't really know. No one has said what exactly the bracket would be or how they would go about this, but it just feels like there's so much momentum right now from commissioners of different conferences, from coaches saying, we want this to happen. And the biggest case, Jim Phillips laid it out yesterday at the ACC spring meetings. Jim Phillips, the ACC commissioner, said when you're leaving national championship contending teams out of the playoff, you don't have the right number. He said, we suffered through it with Florida State when the field was 4, and I know other schools have suffered for it, and I've said this very directly. Notre Dame was a CFP-worthy team this year. Again, if you have 16 teams, then Notre Dame probably would have been in. I don't think we need to take this to 24. That just feels crazy.
Yeah.
And the only conference that is not for it publicly right now is the SEC. So Greg Sankey, of course, is going to talk like Jim Phillips did at the SEC meetings here in a little bit. I think it's in a couple weeks. And I think if you're a college football fan that does not want the 2014 playoff, we just got to hope that Greg Sankey doesn't want it right now.
You would get it why the SEC doesn't want it.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, they're getting a bunch of teams in anyway.
Yeah. 24 just waters it down and it takes the money away.
Yeah. Right. I thought that... who was it? Rhett Lashley, who he brought up the fact that maybe you do away with the conference championship games because the two teams meeting in the championship games are probably going to be in the 2014 playoff anyway. And that saves you a week on the calendar.
They're definitely going to get rid of that if they do go to 24, I guess.
That also saves you losing a team because of that game if you do it. So.
Yeah.
It's a fair point.
Manny Diaz is saying...
I have those on occasion.
Manny Diaz, coach of Duke, is saying our current playoff is perfect for the mid-90s when we had small conferences. Look at what we've done now. We have huge conferences where everybody can't play everybody within a conference. We're going to 9 conference games, which means that there's less inter-conference action, so you can't tell, is the 3rd team in this league better than the 5th team in that league? So that's his case for expanding it.
Boo! Don't expand. You want the audio we've got?
Yeah, here's Mario Cristobal, his take on the college football schedule. He's against expanding it.
Just move everything up. That's all. Finish as early as possible in January so that there's time for you to put together a team. Like, we don't complain about being able to have an opportunity to play in a game of that caliber. But, man, the portal had already been sucked dry. And you had to scramble to figure out which one of your guys are going in and what's actually left out there that you're willing to go after while still trying to, hold together for that final game. So yeah, just move everything up. That's all. I have one bye week and let's roll. I'm not for the 2014 thing. I think that's just a lot. Like, why play a regular season then? I don't.
So that's the Miami coach, Mario Cristobal, on it. I will say, if there was a 2014 playoff, Syracuse would have made it recently twice.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
Right.
And 2018, they probably would have made it. So kind of crazy to think about that.
Yeah. But would you look back on it? Would you be like, those are playoff teams?
No.
Yeah. That's why
they lost to Stanford at home. Like, yeah.
They do have to figure out a way, I think, to either end the season earlier or push back the start of the portal. Now, I know, the start of the portal, that's tough because you've got your spring semester is starting in colleges. So you really can't push the portal back. So what can you do with the schedule? You almost have to move everything up. And so, maybe week 0 becomes week 1.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's just if you want to play all these games, you got to figure out a way to fit them in. So, to his point about one bye week, maybe week 0 becomes week 1. Maybe you do away with the conference championship games, and now you can still wrap up around the same time so that, guys can get in the portal and get out of the portal by the start of the spring semester wherever they go. They may have to do that.
Yeah, the thing is, if you're doing away with the conference championship games, you're doing away with a lot of money.
Right.
So then they have to probably add playoff games in that week to justify it.
Correct. Right. Correct.
Yeah. Rhett Lashley was saying, we've been playing college football for 167 years. We've only had conference championship games for 34 years. You have to be able to modernize around what our game is now. Those games are big, but if you have a weekend of 8 on-campus playoff games, that's probably going to be a good offset.
Rutgers had the first college football games.
Why are you telling me that?
They just, that's all they got. That's what they tell us every time you go there.
Right.
That's all they got.
Okay.
Good insight.
Thank you. Paul McCartney.
Are we ending now? Because technically...
Because if we go to break now, it'll put us over this
Well, we have
show.
one more segment, but if you want to end early, that's fine. I'm good.
This is the segment.
Okay.
You don't tell me how to run my show, Mr.
A lot of times you say, let's take a quick break.
Paul McCartney.
Okay.
Run DMC, but only songs off of Raising Hell.
Okay.
Fleetwood Mac. Nice. Green Day. Shania Twain, she feels like a woman. Go-Go's, Janet Jackson, Toto, Little River Band. Little River Band, Toto, Janet Jackson, Go-Go's, Shania Twain, Green Day, Fleetwood Mac, Run DMC, Paul McCartney. I have 3 people I would like to see on this, and I'm going to shock you with my pick. Little River Band.
That does shock me.
Lonesome Loser reminds me of me, Steve. I like that song. I like Reminiscing. I like Cool Change. They're my Paul Davis.
Okay.
You go to who you gonna vote for?
I mean, I'm never gonna not vote for a Run DMC. So
okay.
I'm gonna go Run DMC.
Okay.
I'll leave it up to the chat. I was thinking Fleetwood Mac.
Fleetwood Mac. Okay. So yesterday we did YouTube. Today we will do Twitch chat.
Are those the 3, by the way?
Run DMC.
That you would have picked?
Fleetwood Mac. No, Janet Jackson.
Oh, okay.
And the Go-Go's.
Oh,
wow.
Only one of the 3.
Run DMC, Fleetwood Mac, Little River Band, below Michael Antonio. Run DMC wins. Philly's Most Wanted.
Your favorite guy.
Game changer. Yeah, I almost not want to do it now. But Run DMC. Only songs off Raising Hell. You knew that, right?
I did. UB Illin's on there.
It's tricky. Walk This Way. Perfection. I like that song.
Yeah.
It's tricky's good.
That Perfection. UB Illin's a good one.
UB Illin's probably my favorite on that album. Yeah.
You went to. You remember you go to see Dr. J?
Yeah.
You went behind
Front
his
row
back.
seats,
yeah.
yeah.
Behind his back, and you scream touchdown.
Yeah.
What? You go to Burger King, right? No, you go to KFC and you order a large fries, Big Mac. You be illin'.
I got to say, too, Steve, that
you eat dog food, you be illin'.
Your answer when Paulie asked, what's your favorite thing at Wendy's? And you said baked potato.
Yeah.
That was the most Steve answer I think you
thought
could
you
have
were going to
given.
agree with me.
No, I've never had it. But it was just, we were out there laughing because Paulie's like, I love a Baconator. And you're like, oh, baked potato at Wendy's is great.
It is great.
Who goes to fast food for a baked potato? Like, you can't screw up a baked potato, can you?
Well, you probably put nothing on it too. So
no, I do cheese and broccoli there when I get that
broccoli.
Yeah,
on a potato.
Yeah, you should try it.
I shouldn't.
Oh, it's good.
It's the same thing you put on your pizza. Everything is the same. Your pizza is cheese and broccoli. Your baked potato is cheese and broccoli.
I like cheese and broccoli. It was in the open for the show for a while. I like broccoli.
I know, but that's just weird.
Okay. To each their own, as they say. Tim, what do you got coming up tonight?
I'm going to bring on Kyle Federley, my broadcast partner. We'll talk some lacrosse, preview the UNC game. He'll be on at 5:15. We'll take your phone calls, and I'm sure talk a good amount of just my keys to the game for Syracuse UNC in the quarters.
All right. Spatch and Louise says, I've never done this before, and I want to throw this idea out at you guys. We got to make. Says he knows word for word every track on Raising Hell by Run DMC.
Every lyric?
Yeah. If we got him a code to come on and we bumped back with him singing along with the bumps to prove it, would we do that? Would you do that, Spatch and Louise?
You probably wouldn't do it.
Because I would like to see, like, I've had that CD and I beat it to hell. I don't think I could do that. Like,
we could play a game where it's like you play the song, then you stop it, and then the light's on him to keep the song going. You know how they do that?
That's true. Yeah, because it's easier to do it when the song is playing. Do it with them. So.
No, like we could. It doesn't have to be the whole song. It would just be him going and then stop it. He keeps rapping, and then we say, "Okay, that's enough of the bump."
So he's got to stay on for 2 hours?
Yeah, come on. He sits in here for 2 hours anyway.
That's true. He's probably at work or something.
Well, yeah, that would be hysterical. If he's at work and he's in his cubicle, it's tricky to rock and rock and rock and rock. It's tricky. He's saying
he tells everybody in the office to quiet down.
Quiet down.
Quiet down. We're bumping back.
I'm coming back. I got to do you be Ellen.
That is a good idea.
Come on,
though.
Spatch, let's go. He said no.
That is a good idea. That's funny. It could be a summer thing. All right, we got to go. For Tim, for Paulie, I'm Steve. Enjoy the rest of the day, everybody. We'll talk to you again noon tomorrow.